G'day, folks. Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, no, it's great.
Jonesy will be here momentarily. He is actually caught up in a bit of traffic at the moment, and we do expect him to pop in on board fairly shortly. First of all, let me say, Rob on the road, welcome aboard, buddy. You have won 555 trillion Fair Star points. Those of you that are familiar with the old Fair Star cruise ship, well, it is the old Fair Star cruise ship, so it's long gone. So well done, Governor, you've made it. We've got Stone Wolf Outdoors. Welcome aboard, Stone Wolf. Nice to have you here. As I say, we've got Jonesy on his way in. Will be here fairly shortly, so just running a little bit late from the office. G'day, Ellsworth Carl. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. We've got Crystal from Destinations Delight with a Ford Man raid, so they've been up all day, all night. So welcome aboard, folks. Michael Ann, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Daniel Jose, welcome aboard, Daniel. Nice to have you here. Yes, we will have Jonesy here fairly shortly. Nomadic, g'day. How are you, Troy? Troy, did you see I did say hello to you several times today? I did say hello, at least 4 that I know of. G'day, She Devils. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Oh, you're going to be lurking. We can handle that. G'day, Camp Creek Hill. What's cracking, Australia? Plenty's cracking. Look at the weather today. We're having some great fun. G'day, Betty. This is Sean here saying g'day. Jonesy will be with us shortly. He's just tied up doing other things at the moment, so we'll get him on board shortly. Oh yes, Ford Man raid from Troy, so welcome aboard. And it is 4:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, Betty, for you it is 20:03, which is 8:03 p.m. on the day before Hump Day, Tuesday. So welcome aboard. G'day, William. Nice to have you here. Oh yeah, Sean, 4 times you did. That I did. But how many times will you spell my name correctly during the show today? That's going to be an exciting one. Betty saying g'day to Sean. How are you? I'm very well, thank you, Betty. And it was nice to see you on Bill's live the other day. I know that you're one of those wannabe cruisers. Betty, just bite the bullet and get on a cruise ship. In fact, Jonesy and I will be together, hopefully, in 20 days. Can you believe it? 20 days. G'day, Bildrat. All right. Okay. Bildrat, can you please do me a favor and tell Nomadic Rat Pack that you've got his same spelling thing? 20 days to go. Yes, it is close. In actual fact, right now there is a much closer countdown, a countdown to a cruise that's happening out of Tampa, Florida. That one is going on the West Caribbean. It's on the Carnival Pride, and that ship is sailing in 5 days with a bucket load of helping hands for cruising people on board. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. Some brilliant people on board, as well as some helping hands for cruising recipients. So that's going to be really nice. And those that are in the chat who are going on it, they will have it. They will be having him. They will be having a fantastic time. William, doesn't pay to bug me, my friend. Have fun with me, and we will have fun together. But bugging me doesn't work. We'll just end up sticking you in timeout for like 300 seconds, and then you never know what happens after that. But thank you, William. Sean is the correct way to spell. So, those of you that may or may not be aware, where are we today? Where is this place behind me in the background? Betty is saying that Tampa's only 15 minutes away from her. She's meeting up some Australian creators in August in Orlando. Hey, well, it's not going to be us, unfortunately, but hey, enjoy the time with those Aussie creators, and just get used to the accent. You will have a ball. Um, if you don't mind me asking, who will those creators be? It'll be nice to actually catch up. Um, okay, so anybody taking a guess? The area that we're looking at is actually, I'll give you a heads up, it is actually mainland Australia. So, okay, how did you find that one out? What did I do to give it away? Please, unless you just went for a straight check it out and find out. Any cruises leaving Australia to the Philippines? Not that I know of. The only cruises that leave Australia that head out in that sort of direction go via Japan and do a repositioning to the US. Yes, Crystal is definitely on that. Well, Crystal will definitely be coming down and meeting up with people in Orlando, but she's not Aussie, unfortunately. Come hither with Heather and Werner Adventures and Drew Adventures. Oh, cool. I might actually get to have a look at their channel, see what they're like. Looks like either Hawaii or Florida. No, it's not. It is mainland Australia. But how did the governor get so close? Where is it that it says the place? I didn't say it anywhere. Garnet is going to let us know who this really is. Okay. Don, my voice to text is going to clue in Sean to who this really is. Well, Bill Tratz, if it's not Troy, then it's got to be I don't know, to be honest. Can keep me going. We'll get there shortly. Anyway, okay. So, Governor, you need to fill me in. You need to fill me in because I need to know how the hell did you know where that was, unless I inadvertently told you. Because it's not a place that most people know. And you got it so quick as well. And where it was being shot from, unless you came in and shot it. Governor, what can I say? All right. So, bit of news on what's happening around the traps with the cruise ships. Now, wait a minute. I just need to change something here very quickly because I forgot to change it beforehand, but now I'm going to change it because it's actually in the wrong segment and it's not giving the right people the credit that they deserve. There we go. That's fixed it. All right. All the clues are right there. Okay. I'll figure it out in a minute. Did he mention traps? Now I'm getting scared. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of traps for you, Mr. Bill Trats. Okay, so cruise ships. Well, we've had a few ships coming in and out, but currently cruise ships that are going in and out of Melbourne. So we're looking at March the 7th. Hang on, I need these 4 eyes. Cruise ships going out of here was the Norwegian Spirit came in and left today. The Pacific Explorer is coming in tomorrow. And the Grand Princess is coming in tomorrow as well. So those are the ships that are in for the next couple of days. Out of Sydney, ships coming in and going out are, as soon as this refreshes, March the 7th, we had the Seabourn Sojourn come in and out today. The Majestic Princess came in and out today. And the Pacific Adventurer came in and out today. Tomorrow, we will have, in Sydney, will be the Seabourn Odyssey. And on Friday will be the Celebrity Eclipse. So there we go. Now, anybody who is currently on Jonesy's channel, if you can just type in radio on Radio Jonesy, and your details will come up. I've been trying to get that happening with mine, and it's just not working at this particular point in time, so I've got to figure out why. But at any rate, that figuring out will happen fairly soon over the next couple of days or so. But if you do decide on Jonesy's, please type in radio and your details should come up. So while we are here, what's happening down under? Currently, we've got cruising happening locally. There are some ships that are going out towards New Zealand and the South Pacific. So those are some of the exciting things. We've had very interesting weather. Those of you that are Aussie based right now, your weather, depending on where you are, parts of Queensland has had a bit of a bucket load of rain, and parts of New South Wales have also had a bit of rain. But more importantly, most areas have had temperatures in the 30 degrees C, so between 90 to 100 degrees on the F scale. So we've had a fair bit of hot times. Just recently, as in the last couple of days, did we drop below 30 degrees. So summer's certainly going out. G'day, Kenny. Welcome aboard, buddy. Hello to everybody. He's typing through a phone. He's not tagging. That's why he's not tagging. So, Kenny, in the chat, if you don't mind, just pass us an idea. You've just come off a cruise. So I'm going to ask you, what was it like? What advice would you give to people like James and Cindy, and also Scott and Amber, as to what to expect in 5 days' time? Put it in the chat, that'd be great. William Nidal, friend, is again in trouble thinking about suicide. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't think about suicide. Mate, you do funny things like that and then it doesn't do anybody any good. So don't play that game with me. Please don't. Kenny shared us on Facebook and the YouTube channels. Thank you very much. Well, if it isn't the Busby. Well done, Mr. Busby. You've typed in radio. And guess what it's done? It's typed out your channel. There you go. Bill Dratz, William, you are not in trouble. He was just having fun. That is correct. G'day everyone in Jonesy's channel from Busby. Well done, Busby. Thank you for that, mate. And we've got a good crew on today, and it gets better every time. Jonesy is just getting himself sorted. He's messaged me earlier on to say that he's doing all sorts of things. He is driving home from a job and hopes to take about 10 minutes, but he could very well be 15 to 20. So we'll see how he goes. Okay. So I thought what I'd do in the short term is just ask anybody out there, if you're a creator, just do a hashtag create in the chat, and let's start to get some other people checking in on those channels. The more you check in on those channels, the more it helps everybody. We all win. This is not a competition, but it is an opportunity for us to get everything up and doing well and getting ourselves known out there. Busby says again, g'day in the Downunder Cruisers. And he is a creator. especially the creator with the pecker, I, I must say. Rob on the Road is a creator. Thank you, Gav. Daily Dose of the Bible is Kenny's other channel, so Kenny is in with all cylinders firing, which is awesome. So, Michael Ann is a creator, guys. Go and check out Michael Ann's channel. It's a great channel. And in actual fact, she was doing some very interesting discussions today. Busby Adventures is having a bit of a giggle there. Okay. William has clarified that. No, his friend is in town. He's thinking of suicide again, getting a ride into town to help her. She is deeply emotionally depressed. Girl, all of her family has shunned her. I'm her last hope. Well, let's hope that, mate, you can get her on the straight and narrow. And we don't. It's not a good thing to be suicidal. So, mate, all our prayers go to her. So give her as much support as you possibly can. Well, Joe Hupp, welcome aboard, buddy. Jonesy will be here shortly. He's just running a bit behind schedule, so there we go. G'day, Kenny from Bilge Rats. And Kenny from the Daily Dose of the Bible. He's saying hello, everyone. He's typing through a tablet, not tagging anyone. That's why. G'day, Nomadic Rat Pack Troy. We're here for the party and the good friends. How are you today, Sean? Mate, I'm doing pretty well, thanks, Busby. I am. I've just completed a load off my shoulders, an assignment or an assessment that I needed to do. So it's finally done, and I'm waiting for results on that one. So we'll see how we go. Good night, William, and please send your friend her best, our best. I beg your pardon. Okay. Daily Dose of the Bible, aka Kenneth Oakes, is saying he's a hashtag creator, a hashtag supporter, and a hashtag multitasker, and a hashtag multi-streamer. Wow. Big stuff. Busby saying that sounds awesome, mate. Yes, thank you, buddy. Especially considering that in 20 days we'll be with my parents on a cruise for 4 days. So that's going to be awesome. Good night, William from Nomadic, from Troy, the Rat Pack. We've got the Stream Element saying here, welcome to the Aussie joint venture with Radio Jonesy and the Downunder Cruisers. If you like what you see, please hit the sub button, the like, and comment. Go ahead, do it. We dares ya. And if you don't like us, hit the thumbs down twice just to make sure that you get it, and we'd be even more excited. Okay, so just to show you, I'll just put up a couple of things. Hang on, before we go down that route, let's just get into Hupsy's comment. Joe is saying in New South Wales news, 40 bushfires are burning, most of which are out of control. One of the major fires, the Cranbrook fire, is currently being controlled and has been water bombed. 847 hectares have been burned so far. Matey, you guys, is this sort of the middle of your fire season? We've kind of missed it down here in Vic. It hasn't been as ferocious as it has been in previous years. But excuse me. But hoping that you guys are safe. Are you anywhere near in that area where the bushfires are? I hope you're safe. Kenneth is saying, just get out there and enjoy every moment and make memories for a lifetime and do videos. Also try new foods and new things you have never done before. And that's pretty good advice to the Cataneses and also the Hickses. I agree with you there. Busby saying, Sean, I already smashed the bell. Hope it's not been broken. No, mate, it hasn't. I didn't even hear it fall apart. So Build rats, Sean, it's normal to have this much water down here in the bottom of the boat. Yes, in the bottom of the boat, that's true, but not around the country. So, whilst they have had some rain up north in Queensland, the fires have been pretty hit, have hit pretty badly in New South Wales and so forth. Joe is saying, almost finished here. The worst part about the Cranbrook fire is our property and those around us is only 5.5 kilometres from the fire ground. Oh my gosh. Is it headed your way or is it headed away from you guys? Fordman, okay, Kenneth Alex is a hashtag creator and a hashtag supporter. Thank you very much, my friend. We appreciate that. Cam Creek, amazingly, we haven't had bushfire since 2019 in Victoria. Yes, very true. It has been amazing, even though we've had some warm weather, but I think we haven't had the fuel to the fuel's not being created that would cause us to have bushfires out at this point. Kenneth Oaks, hashtag creator, hashtag supporter, and multitasker, and multi-streamer. You had to add that in, my friend. Joe Hupp is saying, luckily, it's staying clear of us. Well, that's awesome. I remember in 2000, I think it was, I was down near Cranbourne area here in Victoria, and the fires were just licking right around. So we do have our fire seasons, we do have our hot times, and yeah, the good news is when it burns, it grows back. So, and hopefully you guys will not have too much issue. And look, our heart goes out to those that are suffering from it. So there we go. Nomadic Rat Pack is in Jonesy's channel, so saying good day to Jonesy. Awesome. Give him a thumbs up and also type in radio while you're in his channel. Your channel links will come up. Crystal is saying, hi, friends, with a pink hand waving. Oh, sorry, not Crystal. That is Shari from Destination Fun. Welcome aboard, Shari. Nice to have you here. You and Crystal have the same starting name, Destination Fun, Destination Delight, and so I get mixed up with the two of you. But that's awesome. Thank you for coming on board, Shari. Troy, Stonewolf Outdoors, if you're still here, howdy, howdy. Joe is saying good day to Camp Creek Hill. The Cranbrook fire scared the crap out of me yesterday. Seeing the bird dog and the 737 3H4 Fireliners aircraft coming in past your house really made you freak out. Mate, the good news was they actually got the fire. So, yeah. Nick P., on June the 9th to the 13th, 2024, you're booked on the Indian Pacific from Perth to Sydney. Yeah, and when are you going on the GAN that goes from Adelaide to Darwin? When are you doing that one? They're both going to be amazing trips, to be honest. Joe Hupp saying good day to Nomadic. Busby saying good day to Destination Fun. Nomadic saying good day to Joe. Nick is saying fires are nature's natural way of replenishing themselves. Very true. Shari is saying good day to Busby. Daily Dose of the Bible typed in the radio, and you'll see it'll come up shortly. Nomadic Rat Pack, Busby Adventures, howdy my friend. Troy, I didn't know you had friends. I thought you just had the Rat Pack. At any rate, this typically is the fire season anyway. But the good news is it's only limited to one area, not the whole country, and that's exciting. The GAN is actually the sister train to the Indian Pacific. I'd love to do the Indian Pacific first and foremost. Yep, they are. They are both awesome trips to do. Actually, um, almost like getting on board a cruise ship and staying there and having fun going across. Now I know that friends of ours did the GAN from Adelaide to Darwin and then took it the other way back as well. So that was pretty exciting. Um, Joe is saying that he has autism. That's why he tends to freak out at the littlest things. Um, we understand that, Joe. And it's only natural to freak out. We just say try not to because everything falls into place. Not sure. Nick is saying he's not sure he's doing the GAN, just the Indian Pacific for now. He's going to fly around the world with how many stops along the way? Oh, well, how many stops? But you do want to do Indian Pacific, Perth to Sydney, then go fly down to Adelaide and do the GAN from Adelaide to Darwin and then fly out of Darwin. By then you'll have crisscrossed the country both ways. Kenneth is saying, oh, I am sorry, thought I was a mod on Helping Hands. You should be, mate. Give me a minute. Oops, wrong button. That's all right. I'll sort that out, Kenny. I hope you're there in the chat. Yes, you are. And give me a second. Hang on, Kenny. Oh, you retracted your messages. Put a message in, Mr. Kenneth. Then I can't. There we go. Now you are a moderator, mate. You've got the wrench. You do have the wrench. As you have the wrench as Kenneth Oakes. You don't have the wrench as the Daily Dose of the Bible. Joe is saying bus trips are fun. Went to Brisbane in 2021 and it took 18 hours from Sydney to Brisbane. 18 hours. Gee, that's a long ride. Because the distance from Sydney to Brisbane is about as long as Melbourne to Sydney. So, wow. Unless it was one of those that took all stops. That would have been awesome, though. The scenery is just incredible around the country. Nick, May, June, and July of 2024. That'll be awesome. Okay, Chris. Sean, what cruise would you suggest to someone that has never been on a cruise before? Mate, it's what's your tastes. If you like the fun ships, look. Again, you've got to look at cost, and if you like fun, as in activities being put on all the time, something to do, bars to go and drink at, all that sort of stuff. You can't go past Carnival being on your side of the pond. So that, and the type of cruise that you would do is for a first timer, go and find a cruise that's maybe a 3 or a 4 day cruise. One that goes to say Florida, Miami to Bahamas and back. Very simple. Troy, Sean, don't tell everyone I don't have any friends. Nobody would want to play with me. Mate, you get a lot of playing. I know there's a lot of people out there playing with you right now. Troy saying g'day to Nick. Kenny saying g'day. Joe, not a lot of people understand autism. There's a stigma around it. People are so cruel at times. Inclusivity is a big thing with you. Joe, I can fully understand that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm not autistic, but I've got family members who are, and I associate a great deal with people who are autistic and some who have Asperger's and so forth. So I get it. I understand. I know full well that everything will work for you as it goes. All you need to do is find the people that care about you, and they will look after you and they will include you in everything. So, mate, just join the group. Join the group. It's nice to have you on board. You're amongst friends, so it's a pleasure to have you here. The amount of stops was 40 stops from Sydney to Brisbane. Ah, okay. So it's just on 1100 k. So that's about what it is, Melbourne to Sydney. Um, they say 900 if you go up straight, but the bus does take detours off. So, Joe, you're welcome here anytime, my friend. Nick, to be determined on how many stops, but he for sure needs to get to Brisbane. He grew up watching the crocodile hunters, so rarely need to get to Australia Zoo, and he knows he's gone. He's gone, but it's still a bucket list item. So what I'm going to suggest, Nick, this might be up your alley. So what you can do is go into Brisbane, then go to the Australia Zoo, then head across to Darwin, take the GAN from Darwin down to Adelaide, and then work your way across up to Sydney and then go across to Perth. That would be a good way to do things. Busby saying g'day to Joe. How are you? See, Joe? There's inclusiveness coming here. Everybody loves everybody. Kenny is saying radio, you'll watch, your details will come up. Joe is saying to Busby, he's good, how are you? And Busby's great. Thank you. It's 2:32 a.m. here in Arizona. Arizona. I think there's a cruise port near you. Whereabouts in Arizona are you? What city? Kenny would love to visit Australia one day. Mate, you never know what'll happen. You never know what'll happen. Check out Jonesy's other radio. It's called Radio Heads, I believe. Ian Watts official. It's the Aussie spirit. That's what it is, mate. And by the way, Ian, I watched your video. This morning and yesterday. Your videos, man, very nice stuff. Very nice stuff. You keep it up, please, buddy. I enjoy what I see, especially the music. Busby is near the border, Sean, close to. Okay, whatever that is. Busby, you know I don't read American. Camp Creek Hill, Jonesy, too busy doing silly shorts. Actually, no, he's on his way home from a job, so he was running a little bit late, and he was saying he was going to be roughly about 10 minutes. So he's doing as much as he possibly can to get here on time. He will be late, so if he's in for the last half hour, that's cool. Ian is saying just made damper today. Oh, that's awesome. Wish I knew how to make damper. I don't know if you guys across the pond know what damper is. It's a type of bread. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any more. It's pleasure, Watsy. As I said, I love your stuff. You're doing great stuff, and it's very pretty and it's awesome to look at. And it certainly shows a bit of our fair country. Yeah, but he's just uploaded a solution. Has he? He's uploaded another one, unless he had it on a timer. Well, he hasn't said anything to me in the meantime. But that's okay. That's you on the piano, mate? Mate, that's awesome. That's awesome. What good background to your music, to your video. I absolutely love it. You don't stop. You just keep doing it. And the more people who hear Ian Watts playing Moonlight Sonata on the piano, the more people who hear that, mate, you're going to get a gig somewhere along with, you never know. I mean, you might get a gig with, I'm thinking Hugh Jackman. You might get a gig with, anybody. Damper, salt, flour, water, chuck in the fire. Mate, don't tell everybody. We've got to keep it a secret. It's the Aussie secret. Joe is saying his next trip is to Sydney, Bermagui, 8 hours, 20 minutes to do 377 Ks. Hey, on the bus or you driving yourself? Because that would be an awesome trip to Bermagui. Maybe I might do a picture of Bermagui in the background at some point. You never know. Okay, Kenny, Ford Man in the house, trying to show some love and support with both YouTube channels. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Watsy, thanks. I practice piano 6 hours a day. I got to meet Shakira on chat. She knows me and my father. Wow, that's cool. Man, that's cool. Well, like I said, mate, you never know. We might be watching you, on the stage somewhere. Hopefully we do. And you just keep playing that piano. Okay, so Joe is saying that he's going by coach using a company called Premier Motor Service. This is the same company he used to go to Brisbane. Oh, wow. So obviously you must feel very comfortable with the driving. But that on the bus is really a cool way to see the country. Kenny's saying g'day to Build Rats. Ian is saying she heard my piano, that's for sure. That's cool. More the better. Busby is saying that's 234 miles. Thanks, Busby. We needed to tell you what it was in real distance so that you can convert it into that stuff you use over there. Nick is saying, I know it stinks for Aussies, but it's a great deal for Americans on United States dollar to the Australian dollar. Yes, it is, mate. The Aussie dollar right now against the US, against the greenback, sucks. It's a pleasure, mate. Troy is going to get out of chat but leave you running in the big screen. The sleep monster is calling me. Well, mate, you better succumb to the sleep monster. But having said that, thank you very much for coming on board. It was great to have you in the chat. And, we shall see you next time. Maybe tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing the Hump Day session tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about some of the cruises that we're going on and the countdown to some of the others. Slater Troy from Busby. Chris would not know what Slater means. To all us Aussies, we know what Slater is. Hey, Slater, mate. Just a quick drink. Weather right now, Watsy, is it's sitting on 19 degrees with 51% humidity. We had 24 today, and yesterday was a little bit on the cooler side, but we're expecting some warm stuff to come through, especially coming in from Perth. So there we go. Kenny is saying, what, sleep? Haven't gone to bed yet. Kenny, when do you plan to go to bed? You'd rather be here, Watsy. I'll tell you what, sometimes we appreciate the cooler days because when you get that incessant heat coming in, and the problem with Oz, particularly up Brizzy side, the heat is humid, and so it just gets everywhere. So, yep, we get it. We like being we like having the favorite weather here. You know, the great weather. The fact that we can actually ah cool down after a hot day. So yeah. Um, Joe is saying he prefers someone else to do the driving. Going by coach is a lot easy, is a lot better as the company can carry more passengers than a car and can take from 48 to 63 passengers. Well, that's awesome. Um, haven't heard of Premier Motor Service, but we used to have Fire Firefly was doing the Melbourne Sydney run, and a couple of others. Kenny is saying goodnight to everyone that's leaving and going to bed. He's staying until the end of the stream. Mate, thank you for that. When the stream is done, um, I would like it if you did at some point hit the hay, because I need you to make sure that both Scott and Amber are getting ready for that flight down to the cruise. So that'll be awesome. Tell you what, Jonesy, this is the longest 10 minutes you've ever had, mate, unless you're just sitting in the background watching me do this. But that's cool. I can do it anytime. You're just getting a free stream, that's all. Okay, so, yes, that's Victor Harbour. I don't know very much about Victor Harbour, to be quite honest. I do have some people that live in Victor Harbour that work with us. They are one of our great trainers. They do all sorts of stuff. They do first aid training for motorcycles. Anybody who rides a motorcycle, they'll train you in first aid. They do test and tag on electronic equipment. They do printing of various things like T-shirts and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, if you want to know who they are, message me on the in the chat, and I will organise their details for you if you're interested. Joe is saying Premier Motor Service, a division of Premier Transport Group. It's based out of Nowra in the Illawarra region of New South Wales. Oh, didn't know that there was a bus company up that way. Joe's saying he heard of motorcycle first aid course. Yep. So this organisation is first aid for motorcyclists. They do training all around the country. They've got a location in Sydney. They've got a location in the head office is based in Victor Harbour, but they also have trainers here in Victoria as well as New South. I believe they're looking for someone in Western Australia. They may have someone in Tasmania, but we wait and see what happens. You don't ride a motorcycle, do you, Joe? And if you did, have you done first aid? And if not, why not? Well, why haven't you done first aid? All right. So the good news is, as we spin around on our axis in our lovely world, the good news is we are currently looking at cooling down slowly, heading into winter, but the good news is our weather is still relatively warm. We expect the Australian Grand Prix to have some nice weather during it, so that's going to be awesome. Yes, we'll have that at Albert Park, around the Albert Park Lake, so that's going to be exciting. Joe is saying that he has friends who do. One of his friends has a 25-foot all-steel sailing yacht that he runs with his partner for people with PTSD. Man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Ian was going, I was an advanced first responder with Full St. John. Everyone should do first aid should do a first aid course or something basic. Mate, I'm just happy if people can do CPR to start off with. But you know what the good news is, the more there are like us. And Ian, if you have the opportunity, have a chat with me because I've got some ideas that I think, mate, if you did, it would only be good. It would only be good because if you're acting as a first responder, like you have done in the past, mate, you can teach some of that stuff. And to pass that knowledge on to other people is amazing. That's true, says Watsy. It is. It's absolutely amazing because just being able to do CPR gives you the opportunity just to, and if you're the bunny on the spot, who's there first on the spot, and you doing CPR on that person, and they come good, wow. What's he got? A 17-year service medal. Wow. Mate, I worked with St. John at one point. I worked in the corporate structure, didn't get a service medal. Hey, I'm proud of you. That's a good thing. Serving the community like that is amazing. How come you quit? Did you have enough? Actually teach it, mate. Actually teach it. Teach people what you know. And with that we can talk off air if you're really interested. So, Victor Harbour is actually one of the outer lying areas of the city of Adelaide. And we might be actually getting the city of Adelaide up in one of our shows at one point. We might actually show it to you. You can have a look, see, and then see what happens. There we go. Joe is saying he has 16 years with a company he works for now. It's been a bloody fantastic 16 years. This job is the longest job he's ever held. Mate, who do you work for? What do you do? What do you do in your in your work time? Actually, let me ask you the question this way. What do you do to be able to afford the bus? What's he saying? He's got lots of stories, but why he quit? Excuse me. Why he quit was two not so nice people and the group folded. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what's he? Talk to me, mate. Maybe we can do something together. I will, just put your details in the chat and I'll come back to you. I've got an idea. You might like it, you may not. If it works for you, well and good. Because that could be a way you could do stuff. You work for a company in Dubbo called Fletcher International Exports. We export lamb and all sheep-based value-added products all over the world. You live in Dubbo. That's awesome. Been to Dubbo. It's a nice big town. Actually, it's not a town, it's a city. It's a country city right in the middle of slap bang everywhere. I think I did it on a straight run from Melbourne to Brizzy. I was going from Melbourne to Brizzy and we drove up and we went up through Dubbo. So that was awesome. Nick, if you get a chance, you've got to go and visit Dubbo while you're here. How long are you in Australia for anyway, Nick? Not just the week and a bit to do the train ride. I'm hoping you're here for a bit longer. He does. He lives in Dubbo. He was born and bred. He'd love to see more Australia, though, before he thinks of moving to Canada. Why do you want to go there? Joe, let me just put this to you. 30 degrees in the middle of summer. In Canada, minus 30 degrees in the middle of winter. I'm just putting that to you, mate. Just putting that to you. Unless you know of somebody in Canada, so. At any rate, we do have like Michael Ann, who's in the chat, is Canadian. And she's been telling me how nice and warm she's had it, minus 30 degrees. And so there are some nice people in Canada. No, I'm joking. There are lovely people in Canada, but uh, to be honest with you, too freaking cold for me. I quite like the weather we got here in Melbourne. So he's looked into into their migration laws. The job he does now is listed as a skill for migration. He's sick of Christmases where he melts. He'd love to have a few white Christmases. Mate, you get frickin' freezing. Now, whereabouts in Canada would you go to be able to do your job? Because the further north you go, the colder it is. But then I understand. I mean, you could always come down to Melbourne for Christmas. Yeah, interesting thought. Interesting thought. To be honest with you, there's nowhere known I could go to Canada. I mean, I could go there to visit. Um, Ontario, yeah. Well, it's not. I don't think it's Michael Ann who lives in Ontario. I think it is V who lives in Ontario, and she complains that it's freaking freezing there. But anyway, go and enjoy. You know, I mean, if that's what you want to do, go do it. Do you have any family ties that hold you? So if you were going, would you be going by yourself or would you be going with a partner? How would you go? I, for the life of me, cannot imagine doing a journey of that nature or a move of that nature on my own. So if you do it on your own, mate, kudos to you. Joe has two friends in Ontario. One lives in London and the other lives in Sarnia. Both are tow truck operators. They'd be busy. They'd be busy, especially with all the snow trying to get people in and out. Yep, get used to the snow, mate. Joe, have you ever seen snow? Because you wouldn't get any in Dubbo, I don't think. No, you wouldn't get any in Dubbo. Okay, so as we go along, let's see. Joe has no ties. He already has a family over there. Okay, a cousin of his lives in the West Coast. She lives in Kamloops, British Columbia. Okay, so one of the other guys that we talked to, a guy by the name of Larry he's got a channel there called Plum Travelers. He lives in British Columbia. He lives in a place called Powell River, and they do get bloody cold too. Joe's saying that he has seen snow. It has been a long time ago. It would have been 7 at the time. So that's cool. So, well, I mean, if you can handle the cold, go and visit Canada. The good news about Canada is it's still part of the British Commonwealth, not like those Yanks. I mean, what those American? No, oh, shut up, Sean. It's good. It's one good thing having a colonial tie, but there are some negatives to it as well. At the end of the day, folks, we should all have a happy time, happy life. If going to Canada is what you want to do, Joe, go and be happy. Don't regret. Always go with excitement to learn new things every day of the week. Go and have fun. I'm going to close the chat down now. I've had a ball talking to all of you guys, and next week, hopefully, Jonesy will be here in the chat, ready to rock and roll, and we can then do things. So to all the new people we've met, welcome aboard. Thank you for coming. For all the oldies, it's been nice to have you back. I will be up tomorrow on the Downunder Cruisers live stream, where we'll be talking about cruising and so forth. And then on Friday evening at 10 p.m. for those of you in the US, 10 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing our live stream, which will be for those of you Aussies that are this side of the pond. It will be 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. We will be doing our live stream, and hopefully we shall get to see all of you back, and we shall hopefully wish all the people from the fantastic cruising group cruise a bon voyage, and have a chat with them all later. So in so saying, folks, have an awesome week, and we'll talk to you next time.